everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we'll be taking an in-depth look at the 2021 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. Absolutely, hands down, the craziest Jeep I've ever driven. This is so much fun. Just listen to that sound. Good gosh. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. We'll talk about performance, of course, and get plenty of sound clips, and cover all sorts of other things like features, safety, pricing, and so much more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. For a performance enthusiast, the Wrangler Rubicon 392 delivers the best of both worlds. On one hand, you have greater off-road capability with greater approach and departure angles, suspension articulation, maneuverability, and water traversing. On the other hand, you have an SUV that can accelerate to 60 miles an hour about as quickly as a Challenger SRT 392. It's been nearly 40 years since the Wrangler was offered with a V8 from the factory. There's a lot more than meets the eye, too. Not only is there a 6.4-liter Hemi shoehorned in this thing, but just about every aspect of the chassis and driveline has seen revisions to match the added power and make this the most capable Wrangler yet. From the outside, the 392 keeps the original design theme of the Wrangler with bold and functional cues that distinguish it from a standard Rubicon. For starters, there's a new, more aggressive hood that was borrowed from the Gladiator Mojave. It's 40 millimeters taller, incorporates a functional hood scoop, and features 392 badging on either side. The grille design allows for improved cooling and airflow. A factory lift adds to the 392's character and presence. Of course, like all Wranglers, you can lay down the front windshield and remove the doors, front roof panels, and rear side windows for an incredibly cool open-air experience, depending on where you're driving, of course. Jeep provides a toolkit that includes all of the tools you'll need for disassembly. They also have a handy place underneath the floor in the cargo area so you can keep all of the various bolts organized. For 2021, the 392 is available in 9 exterior colors. This example is finished in Snazberry Metallic. Base pricing, including destination, is $74,995. These come pretty much fully loaded with 11 premium features that are normally optional on other Wranglers, such as leather upholstery, LED exterior lighting, remote proximity entry, the advanced safety group, auxiliary electrical connections, body color bumpers and hardtop, the steel bumper group, and more. Depending on how you're going to be using one of these, there are a handful of additional options to choose from as well, such as a trailer tow package, a hardtop headliner, an integrated off-road camera, all-weather floor mats, and the trail rail cargo organizer system. The total MSRP for everything you see here is $77,070. The 392 rides on bronze-finished 17 by 7.5 inch beadlock capable wheels, which are a functional upgrade for those that plan on spending a lot of time in the rocks and sand. The beadlock design provides additional tire holding strength by pinching the outside of the tire sidewall to the rim. Beadlock wheels also allow for low pressure use and improved off-road traction without the risk of the tire separating from the wheel. Meaty 33-inch BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires are standard. If desired, Falcon Wild Peak mud terrain tires are optional. Of course, a full-size spare tire is mounted to the back. The 392's chassis includes upgraded frame rails, front upper control arms, and cast iron steering knuckles to take full advantage of the V8's power and torque. Heavier duty brakes are also standard for improved stopping power. 12.9 by 1.1 inch rotors in front with twin piston calipers, and 13.6 by 0.86 inch rotors in the rear with single piston calipers. All of the rotors are internally ventilated. Together, they're able to bring the 392 to a stop from 60 miles an hour in about 130 feet. The 392's drivetrain puts the power down to all four wheels all the time. At the heart is a Select Track full-time active 2-speed transfer case with a 2.72 to 1 low-range gear ratio. It has 4 driver-selectable modes: 4-wheel drive auto, 4-wheel drive high, neutral, and 4-wheel drive low, allowing the driver to set it and forget it while constantly sending power to the front and rear wheels. It also allows for the 392 to be flat-towed. Additional technologies such as Off-Road Plus with sand and rock modes and Select Speed Control further enhance the 392's off-road abilities. Off-Road Plus adjusts throttle response, transmission shift points, and traction control for peak performance on higher speed passes on sand terrain as well as during low-speed rock crawling. It also gives drivers the ability to lock the rear axle at higher speeds while traveling in 4-wheel drive high. Select Speed Control manages vehicle speed in 4-wheel drive low while traversing off-road terrain without requiring throttle or brake input. Select Speed Control is activated using a button on the dashboard and can be adjusted from 1 to 5 miles per hour simply by using the electronic Range Select Shift Controller. Through a combination of the V8's engine braking, revised transmission torque converter lockup control, and a 48 to 1 crawl ratio, the 392 is able to manage speed without the driver needing to use the brake pedal for easy, well-controlled low-speed downhill descents. The 392's off-road prowess flows from wide-track, heavy-duty Dana 44 front and rear axles with thicker axle tubes, true-lock electronic locking differentials, and a 3.73 to 1 final drive ratio. An electronic front sway bar disconnect maximizes suspension travel for the most demanding off-road conditions. When it comes to the steering, an electro-hydraulic power-assisted system is standard. The overall ratio is 14.2 to 1, and it takes just over 3 turns between lock and lock. The turning diameter is 39.4 feet. The steering is more communicative than I thought it'd be and offers great response with smooth and easy maneuverability. If you didn't notice already, the steering wheel features an SRT-inspired aggressive rim section for extra grip and comfort. Augmenting the Wrangler's proven 5-link front and rear suspensions, the 392 comes with a 2-inch factory lift and is fitted with specially tuned high-performance Fox aluminum monotube shock absorbers to maximize handling and comfort. As I've talked about in prior reviews, the JL Wrangler is a huge difference from the JK when it comes to road manners. I feel confident in saying that the 392 is the best riding and best handling Wrangler I've driven to date. All of the chassis and suspension upgrades further improved an already well put together package. In addition to having greater suspension articulation and 10.3 inches of ground clearance, the 392 boasts greater maneuverability thanks to approach, breakover, and departure angles of 44.5, 22.6, and 37.5 degrees respectively. Like I mentioned earlier, this marks the first time in nearly 40 years that a Wrangler has been offered with a factory V8. Under the hood is a 6.4-liter, 392 cubic inch V8 that delivers 470 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 470 pound-feet of torque at 4,300 RPM. It's been specially tuned to deliver nearly 75% of its peak torque just above engine idle speed. Of course, the primary goal was to enhance off-road performance. It also allows for incredible off-the-line acceleration and exciting all-around performance. The 392 is able to hit 60 miles per hour in about 4.5 seconds and pass a quarter mile in 13 seconds. It's a completely different experience from other vehicles I've driven with this engine. It throws you back into the seat and lurches forward with great vigor. It's an animal to say the least. However, it's not as hard to reel in as you might expect. With all of the additional chassis enhancements, this thing is as easy to control as any other Wrangler. You just have a lot more power on tap. The engine is built using a deep skirt cast iron block with cross-bolted main bearing caps, aluminum heads, hemispherical combustion chambers, and 16 pushrod operated overhead valves. There's variable camshaft timing, sodium-filled exhaust valves, hollow stem intake valves, hydraulic roller lifters, 2 spark plugs per cylinder, and piston cooling oil jets. For the Wrangler's application, the engine is also fitted with a unique rear sump oil pan, a high-mount alternator, and free-flowing exhaust manifolds. Fuel is delivered via sequential multi-port injection with a compression ratio of 10.9 to 1. Max engine speed is 6,400 RPM. An active intake manifold gets fed through a unique cold air induction system and a functional hood scoop. Referred to as Hydro Guide, the intake system features tri-level ducting with a series of drains, including a one-way drain in the airbox that separates water from the engine's incoming air. It can separate up to 15 gallons of water per minute. This enables the 392 to traverse up to 32.5 inches of water without worry, even if a bow wake washes over the hood. If the hood scoop ever becomes restricted by snow, mud, or debris, a secondary air path within the hood structure will still feed air to the engine. This little trick will enable the 392 to reach its top speed even with a fully blocked primary air path. Speaking of, the top speed is governed to 97 miles per hour due to the all-terrain tire's speed capability. After all, this was designed to tear up the trails, not the track. An active, dual-mode exhaust is standard, which delivers an exhilarating and unmistakable sound. The system engages automatically, opening valves in the exhaust system under higher engine loads to reduce exhaust back pressure. The driver can also activate the system with a press of a button. Out back, the exhaust is finished off with unique quad tailpipes. The 392 is also equipped with cylinder deactivation, which seamlessly switches to a fuel-saving 4-cylinder mode when engine loads are light, such as cruising on the highway. A tank-mounted high-pressure pump keeps the V8 fueled under even the most demanding conditions. The total tank capacity is 21 gallons. EPA fuel economy estimates range between 13 miles per gallon in the city and 17 miles per gallon on the highway. I averaged around 14 miles per gallon when using the required 91 octane fuel. The transmission fitted to the 392 is a high torque capacity ZF 8HP 75 8-speed automatic that delivers quick, crisp gear changes during both normal and performance driving conditions. This transmission also enables the driver to change gears via the new steering wheel mounted aluminum paddle shifters or the electronic range select shifter. The paddle shifters are a first for the Wrangler. The transmission software relies on several input parameters to determine the appropriate shift algorithm. In other words, it features on-the-fly shift map changing, which results in shift characteristics ideally attuned to the performance requirements of almost any driving demand, from crawling over obstructions on the trail to smooth power delivery at highway speeds. The 392's powertrain calibration includes torque reserve and AMAX shifting, accessible when doing a brake torque launch that delivers maximum acceleration for solid pavement launches. Torque reserve is an engine strategy that manages fuel flow to the cylinders and controls spark advanced or retard to balance engine RPM and torque to maximize power delivery and launch performance. AMAX shifting is a performance-enhancing strategy that's also used on the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. It maximizes forward torque by coordinating shift time and engine torque management. Even at this price point, the Wrangler's interior is up to the task to deliver what folks expect out of a premium vehicle. Even in its more basic forms, the JL's build quality is far superior when compared to its predecessor, the JK. Here we have soft touch materials and all of the essential touch points, including a stitched padded dashboard. The Wrangler 392 comes standard with a black leather interior and unique bronze stitching throughout. With the factory lift and no running boards, you'll be hoisting yourself up via the grab handles more than your typical Wrangler, but it's not too difficult. The front seats are surprisingly comfortable and feature manual adjustments. 6-way for the driver and 4-way for the passenger. The driver's seat gets 2-way adjustable lumbar. The steering wheel is adjustable for tilt and reach. The headrest and seatbelts are adjustable as well. The front seat design is unique to the 392. They feature wider bolstering up top and excellent overall support. The front seats and steering wheel are heated. Like I said, the bolstered steering wheel is also unique to the 392. My favorite thing about the interior is the layout. Everything is well within reach and easy to use. This is really important, being that the JL Wranglers have a lot more tech than the JKs. Everything you could ever want is available between the myriad of options across the lineup. If you want basic, Jeep has it. If you want over-the-top luxury, Jeep has that too. With the 392, you receive a standard Alpine audio system, which includes a rear subwoofer. It's quite good. Also standard is the top-of-the-line Uconnect 4C infotainment system with navigation, which in my opinion is one of the best on the market. Unlike a lot of systems on the market, this one does not have a glass screen. It's a traditional anti-glare screen. However, it still offers capacitive touch operation, just like a smartphone. You can also pinch and swipe as needed. It's very responsive to inputs. The infotainment system pretty much controls every aspect of the vehicle, such as multimedia, including satellite radio and smartphone integration technologies like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Dual-zone climate controls are standard and can be operated from the buttons on the dashboard or from within the infotainment system. Towards the bottom of the center stack, you have both Type A and Type C USB ports, plus an auxiliary port. The navigation system is straightforward, as is the hands-free Bluetooth telephone system. There's a lot of other features too. From the settings menu, you'll find a lot of ways you can personalize how the vehicle operates. A Wi-Fi hotspot is also included. Within the App Garage, you'll find a number of additional features, including SOS emergency assistance, shortcuts to many popular features, and more. SiriusXM Traveling, for example, allows you to see real-time fuel prices, weather data, sports info, movie listings, and traffic information. Jeep Off-Road Pages allows owners to monitor pitch, roll, altitude, GPS coordinates, drivetrain power distribution, and more. The Wrangler is a very practical and versatile vehicle. There's plenty of storage areas found throughout the cabin. Up front, there's nets in the lower door panels and a tray on top of the dash. You also have a generous center console with cup holders and covered storage with a removable tray. The glove box is decently sized and has a lockable door for added security. As far as safety, the 392 has everything you can get on a Wrangler. Inside, passengers are protected by multi-stage front airbags and supplemental front seat-mounted side airbags. When it comes to driver assistance technology, there's blind spot and cross-path detection, full-speed forward collision warning, rear park assist, a backup camera, hill start assist, adaptive cruise control, and more. Unlike a regular Rubicon, the 392 is only offered in 4-door configuration. 2-door Wranglers are awesome and a lot of fun, but having 4 doors is obviously more practical. You can seat up to 3 people with relative ease. Many of the high-quality materials found in the front can be found back here as well, such as the padded upper door panels and door armrests. Again, without any kind of running board, you'll be hoisting yourself up via the grab handles. Once inside, it's easy to get comfortable. There's not a ton of space, but it's a pretty open cabin overall, which makes it feel larger than it actually is. Being 5 foot 10 inches, I had plenty of headroom left over and a modest amount of legroom. All 3 headrests are adjustable. You can also fold down the middle section to reveal 2 cup holders and a padded armrest. Other amenities include overhead lighting and Bluetooth microphones for the telephone system. There's good storage too, in the form of nets found in the lower door panels and front seat backs. In the back of the center console, you'll find the power window switches, 2 sets of Type A and Type C USB ports, and a 110-volt AC power outlet. Out back, the Wrangler offers a lot of cargo space with great flexibility, especially if you opt for the trail rail system as shown on this example. It includes adjustable cargo tie-down so you can ensure everything stays in its place. The rear door swings out to give you direct access to the cargo floor versus having to lean over a traditional tailgate. There's underfloor storage too. If you're wanting to carry larger or longer items, you can fold down the 60-40 split rear seat and expand the cargo floor up to the front seats. With the seats up, there's 27.7 cubic feet worth of space. With the seats folded, you have 67.4 cubic feet worth of space. For added convenience, there's overhead illumination and a 12-volt power outlet on the left side. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up. I hope you all enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2021 Wrangler Rubicon 392. Be sure to stay tuned next time and leave a like down below because it really helps the video a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so because, of course, there's always a lot more where that came from. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.